even if we budgeting, there is always that section in the budget which we have allocated for spending. And that's why we can go for coffee today. It's a lovely Sunday with 42 degrees outside. Oh my god. But still, I mean, there is the time for coffee by the sea, having some nice cold drink. Probably there's gonna be a sparkling water with some bit of ice and one lemon, and just to keep ourselves refreshed, because you know that the coffee dehydrates your body, so you need to keep hydrating your body, specifically when it's hot like this. We are going to take money from our spending budget and we're gonna go and enjoy that coffee because it's Sunday. So let's come with me for coffee by the sea. I will then show you my sea view and we'll share that with you. Hopefully you're gonna like it. Successfully arrived. We are here by the sea. I love this promenade here. You know, a lot of flowers around. So yeah, let me get out of the car to that lovely heat. So let's go. Welcome back. We are now after our coffee in that outside heat, 42 degrees in Malta today. However, I have enjoyed it, to be honest, and also I enjoyed it because of a specific reason, that when it comes to spending and my financial budgeting, I have already put money on the side at the beginning of the month for this spending. That's why when I go for coffees like that, okay, there was a small croissant today as well. Obviously, it's Sunday. Yeah, chocolate croissant can do it. And obviously, bottle of sparkling water to keep myself hydrated. However, expenses like this are put on a side already into my spending budget. That's why you need to understand, before you even choose the right type of the budget for yourself, I want you to understand these three parts that each and every budget will have to have. The first part is the part when you are considering your income. So literally how you make money. Because when I started my budgeting, and honestly, I started budgeting somehow, I don't know whether really my parents taught me to that or I learned that at school. That I haven't figured out yet. But somehow, since I started earning my income straight after school, I was already doing my own budgeting. It was on a piece of paper, but still, I mean, I was focusing back then only on expenses though. So that's why I was not really looking at my income, because somehow when you don't really process, when you don't learn more about personal finance and budgeting and generating money, and you don't process all your money blocks you have, it's somehow the whole financial system. It looks like make money, spend money, and that's it. And lucky enough that I was working as a private banker, I was working with people who were already ahead of the game. Obviously, they started much sooner than I did. And I was lucky enough to learn from them. So I could see that there is much more to life than just making money and spending them. That's why it was when I started to focus on how to make money. That's why the three parts of each and every budget, no matter what type you're going to choose, will be how to make money, how to keep money. That was that one of the key points, literally, and then how to spend them. So now I'm focusing more really on the first two parts, because I mean, how to spend them, I think that we all know that very well, right? I mean, yeah, it's easy, just literally grab the wallet, go out, and you find so many places where you can go do your shopping, go for lunches. I mean, you can easily spend your money. Now, as you see, I mean, today, yes, I still love my coffees outside with the sea view, and I'm going to continue doing that. I have coffee outside nearly each and every day, and I will continue doing so because this is something I really like to do. I have money for it in my budget, in my spending budget. However, I needed to really come to the realization that that spending budget needs to be also controlled. So since I actually put money on the side into that spending budget, which is great, but now I'm focusing also on making money and keeping money. So that's what I'm saying are really the three parts, the three essential parts of each and every budget, whatever type of budget you're going to choose. You always need to focus also on your income. And when you focus on your income, this is exactly when you realize, like, okay, how much am I actually making monthly? Like, okay, how much money do I actually really bring to my household, to myself, to whether you are single or in a relationship, how much money do I actually have coming in? Is my salary something what I am satisfied with, or is there something I can do? Which there's always something you can do. I mean, let's really have an open talk. There's always something you can do if you are not satisfied with your salary. You just have to look for the opportunity which really is suitable not only to your lifestyle but also to your skills. Perhaps if you have really time, if you don't have kids, you don't have any excuses. If you have kids, well, yeah, maybe okay, I take that. You really need to spend more time. You're having your family, and you actually want to spend the time with kids. So okay, so then in this case, you should be looking more for the skills you already have and how you can actually leverage them and perhaps start to invest, these few hours, just a few hours of your free time, invest in making some extra income. If you are one of those who look at their bank accounts on a monthly basis and you go like checkpoint, I'm happy with my salary, then completely great, congratulations. Or you got there eventually, or perhaps if you really landed on a great salary with your first job, then really thumbs up. Good. Keep it this way. Now, as we are saying, making money. Okay, but Maria, oh my God, making money. How are we going to make more money? There are obviously ways how everyone can make more money, and you need to really see and consider what kind of income actually exists in the financial system. What kind of income do we have? So we already spoke about the first one. Yes, you're right. It's a salary income. That's something, you have that based on your working contract, certain amount of hours, and you put these hours, into work. You work on the projects, on the business development, or whatever your job description is, and based on that, you get your salary at the end of the month. But this is not the only way. That's the good part. So let's really let's talk about the other two sources of income, because they are quite easy, simple, and trust me on that. You know them by now. You know them if you have been in the working environment for some time. You know them by now, of course. You see them around you. You see them on a daily basis. Actually, when you think about it, the first source of income you saw with me today morning, I went for coffee and I took you for a little tour with me. Where I bought my coffee, that's a business. So that's the second type of income I want you to realize there is in the financial world, in this real world. It's the world you and I will live in, and the businesses are around us. So business income is really one source of income, which is not the same definitely as salary income. Why it's not the same? Because as a business owner, you really need to come up with idea, literally set up your business and take that risk that you have potential to generate more money, but you don't have to. And I know that a lot of people are held back because there is that potential that the business will not work, that they don't have experience, and they can find all the excuses. The thing is, sure, like You don't have the experience with running a business if you never run a business before in your life. It's simple. I mean, I don't think that this is something we need to even discuss. And if you are young, if you are in your 20s, in your 30s, even in your 30s, you're still young. And if you have never, ever before thought about setting up your business, and if you never started any business, you are literally a beginner, you don't have experience. However, this shouldn't hold you back. It doesn't have to hold you back. Because the fact is that every expert around you was once a beginner. Think about it. Hear that once again for yourself. Every expert was once a beginner. Now, when it comes to business as such, as we said, if you want to get somewhere, you have to simply start because obviously nobody is going to do it for you. If you've never done any business, if you never tried to generate a business income, well, you are exactly in the same place like every other business owner who ever started a business. You know, they could be potentially born in a families like a families of business owners and all that. However, until you as individuals start to do your own business at first, you don't have any experience. You may be a bit more lucky if you grow up in a family where there is already a family business, you know, so you grow up in this environment. Yes, you may have more experience, you potentially saw things which you can avoid, you can learn from those people. However, if you are not and you still want to start generating your business income, there are still many books you can read about how to do the business, and literally you will need to start your own income, start your own business by yourself, and you will see as you start step by step, it's going to become more clear, and you will be able to succeed in generation of business income. Now, as I said at the beginning, yes, there is a potential that the business idea may not work. However, I would definitely recommend that you focus more on how you can actually make that business work. Because if you are going to be focusing too much on why this business is not going to work, you're going to come up with all the ideas and all that. Like I hear people saying that all the time. And yes, they would love to have more money. Yes, they would love to, I don't know, have more income, you know, increase financial stability, have a better financial situation, and all this. But when I tell them like, okay, so what do you actually do about it? Have you started any business income or the first type of income, which we will be speaking about in a moment? And I usually really get just a list of things like, okay, but I can't do this because of my personal reasons. That's usually the first one. And then the second type of reasons I hear is because of risky, not having knowledge, not having experience, and yada yada, you know, all these kind of things, which easily can be fixed and managed and done because there is a literature out there. You can learn about how to do business. You have so many businesses around. You can see for yourself, and the main point, you have to start doing it. So when it comes to business, now you would need to choose because we, luckily enough, we have internet nowadays. So you can start to operate a proper, meaningful business online. And then there is the actual, still the real world, you know, like, yeah, hello. Apart from the camera, yes, there is still the real world. So you still can start a physical business in this real world, like, let's say, open a cafeteria, for example, like, yeah, so I can go for another coffee somewhere by the sea. So you see that there are really two types of environment where you can set up your business, whether it's going to be like the content creation environment online, or then you're going to go and literally, I don't know, make the sofa. What about some nice pillows, you know? What about some nice jewelry? That's actually really cool, you know? What about makeup? I don't know. What else? I have here some stationaries. I have here, you can't see that right now, but the Fitball and the exercise mat. So you see, I mean, there are ways how you can start your business. Now you need to choose. If you like talking, like I I like talking. I don't know if you noticed that. Oh yeah. So if you like talking and content creation, well, yes, online space is probably the space where you have more chance to succeed. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy. Even I'm like literally having fun with that. I thought it's gonna be easier. However, it's like every other business from the beginning. If you don't try, if you don't know what you're doing, your first content will be probably not as great, but then you literally improve as you go. So the most important thing with this is to really know your topic. Know, for me it's much easier to actually speak to you about the topic because I know what I'm talking about. I lived that through. I literally was building my own financial literacy in the last years. Lucky enough, for the last 10 years, I was working with businesses. And I was always taking the financial informations from the businesses. I was always looking at that the way that you have a corporation. Corporation is a separate entity from an individual. However, if you have a corporation, a company that works very well, obviously generates revenue year after year and after year and after year, and sometimes yeah, there may be some turbulences, like in a plane when you're flying, and there may be some small turbulence. Why not? However, these small turbulences don't put the company completely out of business because the company has really a simple and straightforward business model. And I really find out that these really tends to work better. If you're trying to do everything and nothing, well, you're going to end up doing nothing. So yeah, and this is exactly when I was like, okay, so hang on a minute. So I work with those companies. Obviously, I am always more inspired by those who are actually making that revenue on a yearly basis. And that's when I started to actually implement the financial principles of the successful companies in my life. Really starting a great simple business. They didn't invent anything. I mean, the companies, really the strongest companies I work with, didn't come up with, I don't know, some AIs and some inventions. They would be usually really focused on the traditional way of making business and just literally applying this same concept over and over and over. Now, most of people will come, or maybe not most, but some will come and say that, but yeah, but that's boring. Well, it may be. I'm not saying it can be considered as boring. However, every beginner, every beginner, every expert was once. I knew I'm going to say that wrong. I was saying this when I was having breakfast. Okay. Do you want to really like invent a needle, or do you just want to apply what worked for others and literally have and generate money? That's my question. You need to answer that to yourself. If you want to share the answer, you can share it in the comment section below. If you think that you're really receiving value here, I would appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel and like the video. It will not only help the algorithm and the channel to grow, but it also will help for other people to actually get access to this valuable information, what we are talking about here in this video, so more people can learn about personal finance and can learn how to budget better. So if you subscribe to this video, thank you very much, and let's get back to the topic. So when it comes to your business ideas, I would recommend that you really look at yourself and you answer yourself the question, do I want to experiment? Do I have, let's say, a lot of cash, or have I inherited some cash and I just want to try something funny, and if I lose money, I lose? Or you are in that situation that you probably didn't inherit money, you're working a regular job, and you just want to really get ahead financially and really create that financial stability and financial freedom for yourself. If you want to create that financial freedom for yourself, I definitely wouldn't recommend doing any experimenting, and I really would go for what works and really focus, because you already have a great advantage in knowing the business model. When you know the business model, you obviously will need to study the business model you choose, but when you know it works, you don't have to question whether it actually going to work or not. And like this, you literally avoid doubts. You know that you chose a business model that actually worked for others. It's going to work for you as well. You know what to do because you did your research, you did the research of the market, and now you start to doing it by yourself. Obviously, yes, there is no 100% guarantee that the business income is going to be generating, even in this case. However, if you really do it right, you have much greater potential to actually start generating and making money with something what with a business model that doesn't need an invention. As we mentioned, once again, business income, physical world or the online world. With the online world, you have videos, you have educational content, you have entertainment content, you have blogging, you can write your own book, you have podcasts, you can create your own what you call them, seminars. Yes, that's the one, online seminars. These are the standard, actually, the online income streams which you can also create for yourself. You know what's the third type of income? Yes, you're right, investment. Investment, obviously, when if you didn't tell me with business income that, oh my God, that's like so risky, you're gonna tell me that now probably. I know, I know, it is risky. What do you want me to tell you? I mean, it is risky, specifically when you're starting investment on your own, you don't know what you're doing. Yes, it's going to be risky. Is there a potential you're going to lose money? Yes. But now it's up to you. It does not necessarily need to be risky. You can learn by yourself, or if you want to use a services of professional investors, which I mean, I would recommend that if you are really risk adverse, you don't have that appetite to do it by yourself. And when you're risk adverse, you probably don't taking risk by yourself. So if this is really you, because as I'm saying, investment is risky, so you need to really consider your knowledge and your level of tolerance when it comes to risk. And also, I would definitely recommend the third part is to actually consider your relationship with money, with investment, and with the potential of generating loss. Because if you actually get over these points, you know exactly what you are going into. This video in no way is any financial advice. I don't know you. I don't know your financial situation. This is just a provision of information of what's available out there. If you are going to choose to invest, please consider for yourself. And if you need to consult with financial experts, please do so. Otherwise, as I'm saying, there is a potential of losing money. You need to look at that bigger picture when it comes to investment, specifically when you're doing it by yourself, because then there is really no one else to blame. I really studied a lot about Warren Buffett and his investment strategies. When it comes to investment, he keeps saying, and he has this personification calling US stock market as a Mr. Market. But what he keeps saying is that literally market is an objective place. The market doesn't know you are there. The market doesn't know you own the stock. Or, well, as he refuses calling that stock, he is actually naming that as a share of a publicly listed company, which this is actually what the stock is. Yeah, it's a share of publicly listed company. The publicly listed company is a real business. You can read about it in news, so you are actually owning, you participating in that business when you buy a share. So that's why, I mean, you really need to put all your emotions aside, because when it comes to generating money on a stock market, the market is just a place. It's the same like, I don't know, YouTube is a platform, it's just the place where you as an individual, you come there with certain amount of money, with certain financial expectations. However, if you don't manage your emotions and your goals before you get there, yes, you can actually generate substantial losses. And obviously, this is not why you go into that market. And that's why it's better or to really learn what you're doing, manage your emotions before, set up your financial goals, or if not, consult your financial advisor and you may see where you go from there. I really want you to understand that apart from the salary income, there are the other two major types of income which you can also start generating for yourself, and that's the business income and investment income. So we have the three types how you make money. Now, the second part of your budget should be about keeping money for your future. Where do we keep our money? Obviously, when you start generating your income, the basic way how you can keep your money is to have your saving account and your pension account. I know you're gonna come back like, okay, but these accounts are not making money. No, they are not. Because, like we discussed just a few minutes ago, there are three types of income, and those two accounts are definitely not catered. That's not the functionality of these accounts to make you money. Yes, there is a certain funny percentage when it comes to saving accounts. Yes, you're gonna generate a yearly, probably somewhere between 1 to 3% yearly interest. So yes, you can earn some money. However, these accounts, and neither the pension account, these accounts are not catered for you to make money with them. These are the accounts where you keep money, and yes, this money will not be making a lot of money, that's for sure not. However, they're kept on the side, and you have that money, and when you're making your money, whether it's your income, your salary income, your business, you keep adding money to these accounts. You keep your money safe over there. These, as I'm saying once again, none of those accounts are catered for you to make extreme amounts of money, because these accounts simply don't function this way. That's one of the way how you can keep your money safe. Now, people want to make more money. If you want to make more money with your cash, I would still keep a certain percentage, at least 20% of what you have in your safe spot. I want to have a certain amount of money on the side, and I want to have access to them. You know how you have safety belt when you go to the plane, you have the seat belt in the car, you have that safety cushion, and that's for me pension account and saving. I recommend minimum 20%. Now the rest of the money, where can we keep this money? So what can we buy with them to keep them? Because you have to really realize that there are really only two ways when it comes to purchasing. When it comes to purchasing, you buying for consumption or you buying for investment. When you're buying for consumption, that's what I did today morning. I went and I took 680 euros from my spending account, and I went and I consumed that lovely coffee by the sea. This money will never come back to me, because I just actually put this money into that lovely place by the sea and I got my coffee. So that's the consumption. When you buy your clothes, when you buy, I don't know what else, your books, like, or groceries, these are all meant for consumption. So you consume, you put this money into your living consumption, and this is exactly when the money will not appreciate and will not come back to you, because you really need to invest them. So keeping your money in a way of investing, and investment does not necessarily need to be only investment in the stock market, because this is somehow really considered as a risky investment. However, when it comes to other places where you can keep your money is when you're buying an asset. And that's the way how you preserve your money, and you have a potential to appreciate that money. Now, stock market is changing fast, depends on what stocks you choose for yourself. There are some which are volatile. You can do a very long-term investment for 20, 25 years. Once again, the way how you approach it. Apart from the stock market where we can keep money, you can keep money in asset, and the asset is literally buying properties, for example. You can buy a property. You can also buy assets like cars, yachts, how you can actually keep the money, where you can keep those money. It's going to be an asset if you're going to use those items, those things to actually generate more money. Because if you have your property, if you buy a property but you're not renting it, well, that's your living expense. And this is we come again to your spending, to your consumption. However, if you buy that asset, like a property, for example, and you start to renting it, then it becomes your asset. The same goes for the car, the same goes for the yacht, the same goes for jet skis, for example. So whenever you buy something, you need to really think like, am I now in the consumption mode, literally? Am I spending money? Or is that going to be the way how I keep money? And this is really the second point, the second part, which you need to have on your budget. So once you have the section of making money sorted, then you have the section of keeping money. Once you pass through your first working experience, first jobs, and now you are running up in your mid to late 20s, up to 30s, start to learn personal finance and really focus more on these two parts, which is the making money and keeping money. Obviously, the third part, as we mentioned already, and even we saw it today morning, is that spending part. I really don't recommend going on tight budgets when you don't spend even a penny, because for me, this kind of lifestyle doesn't motivate me to actually make more money. I tried it for 1 month, it didn't really work. So now we are clear what are the three main parts which each and every budget needs to have. Now, whether you're going to choose your budget, you're going to do it on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis or perhaps on a quarterly basis, which I don't usually recommend. So from the time perspective, how often you're going to do your budget, it's really up to you. And then if you are going to choose your budgeting tools, whether you're going to write it down by yourself in just as simply in a notebook. That's the way how I started. Then I also tried templates, budget templates. You can get printable templates online. I even created some by myself based on what I was writing in my notepads. I will leave the links in the description below so you can check them out. These are really a simple templates. I don't really want to overcomplicate that for you. These are printable, simple templates, because more simple you really look at that budgeting, you're going to start to really realize that budgeting has a benefit. It's not just another thing, on to-do list, like, okay, I do my monthly budget and here we go. When you really start to think about what you're looking at, and when you really start to think about, okay, hang on a minute, there is the section of income, there is the section of like asset. What are those sections about? And I don't have any. How can I create it by myself? This is exactly when budgeting is going to start to make sense, and you're going to start to look at that as a financial tool rather than just a task on to-do list and like another chore I have to do on, I don't know, Sunday, the last day of the month. That's it. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. It was a complex view when it comes to budgeting, when it comes to most important parts of the budget, what you need really to consider for yourself to actually really get ahead financially in your life. Now, getting ahead financially in your life can be doable, and I definitely recommend that we all try the best for ourselves, because now we growing up, we are adults, we making our own money, and better we learn about personal finance. And sooner we start our budgeting journey, sooner we realize that it's actually much easier to not only make more money, but to also keep that money, generate that asset, and actually manage that asset for yourself. That's one of the key which I was not really realizing when I started budgeting. You learn how to manage it. You manage better your emotions, you better manage your spending habits, and then you really realize, like, hang on a minute, I can actually really replace some of my bad habits, which you have. I mean, we all have them, and you can literally replace them, and you can keep that money, and you can really do something much better with that, something more meaningful, which has more meaning not only for your life now, but also for your future. I really can't recommend learning personal finance more than I did in this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. In the meantime, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. And hopefully, by then you will already have your first financial results when you start to use your budgets. And I would like to hear from you about it. So you have the comment section below. Let me know that you're doing well.